जय हिंद दोस्तों, नमस्कार। मेरा नाम है करम योगी दिवाकर बोथरा और मैं आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं अपने अगले एपिसोड इन द सीरीज सोशियोलॉजी इन 10 मिनट्स। आज का पेपर 1 चैप्टर 4 टॉपिक है मैक्स वेबर और उसके अंदर टॉपिक है ब्यूरोक्रेसी। हमने ऑलरेडी सोशल एक्शन और अथॉरिटी वाला पार्ट देखा है। आज देखेंगे ब्यूरोक्रेसी के अंदर। ऑल्दो द ब्यूरोक्रेसी एंड अथॉरिटी आर वेरी मच कनेक्टेड विद ईच अदर, एज द वेरी ब्यूरोक्रेसी largely was one of the part of the authority where Max Weber discussed the rational legal authority as such. एपिसोड नंबर है 30। आज के इस लेक्चर में हम देखेंगे क्या बैकग्राउंड क्या दिया, जो डोमिनेशन वाला पार्ट, उसके बाद फीचर्स ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी, उसके बाद मैक्स वेबर ने क्या पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट्स दिए और उसके बाद क्रिटिक क्या रहे ब्यूरोक्रेसी के और क्या ब्यूरोक्रेसी आज रेलेवेंट है सोसाइटी के अंदर और देयर इज टाइम टू गो बियॉन्ड ब्यूरोक्रेसी. Before starting with the feature, I would just give a brief background of this. If you look into the Weberian theory of bureaucracy, you would largely realize that the bureaucracy was the intrinsic part of the theory of authority. Weber advocated that the dominations in societies largely are of two types, illegitimate and legitimate. The legitimate form of domination, which he calls, is authority. The authority further could be direct and indirect. The direct authority is you directly control the people, and these direct authorities are broadly classified in an ideal type, where Weber discusses three broad types of direct authorities. The traditional authority is based on the traditional values, charismatic authority based upon the belief of the followers that the leader has an exceptional qualities, and the rational legal authority, which is largely bureaucracy based on formal rules, mechanisms and procedures. That rational legal authority is what bureaucracy is. Weber highlighted the following features of bureaucracies. That bureaucracy largely is a rule bound. Any action in the bureaucracy is taken on the basis of rules. For example, if you see the movie Jodha Akbar, you will see that on the basis of their own choices they removed certain laws, they bought certain laws. कभी जिजिया लगाया गया, कभी हटाया गया, फिर लगाया गया, फिर हटाया गया. That means the bureaucracy, if it is not present, then normally it happens that the people largely remove or bring or remove a law or bring a law or bring a change or resist a change on the basis of their personal understandings as such. But in bureaucracy there is a proper law and mechanism, law and order, law present, the procedures are present upon which you need to frame a law on which you would have to largely abide by. Beside this, the bureaucracy largely operates on the principles of order. Order doesn't here mean a social order. Order here means that the bureaucrats always have to follow the orders given by the people sitting in the higher hierarchies. Hierarchy here indicates that the entire organization structure is arranged in different positions. Each positions have their respective authorities and responsibilities well defined and demarcated. And they know how the order would be coming and what are the orders which needs to be adhered by. In hierarchy, further another feature which Weber highlighted was that in the entire hierarchy, the topmost position carries the uttermost, the topmost position carries the highest most power as far as the hierarchy is concerned. Coupled with this, the people who are present in this bureaucracy are appointed on the basis of merit. So Weber highlighted that the recruitment in bureaucracy is always based upon the principles of merit, not on the basis of one's whims and whimsies. Private and public positions are completely separated. Your private role after becoming a bureaucrat would be completely separated from your public roles, and that's the reason we often see we have codes of conducts and procedures set up in order to restrict your political participations and your family members' political participations as also, so that the neutrality can be ensured. The services are always operating on the nature of impersonals. You have an empathy, but you should not be showing a sympathy because that may hamper your policy making process. At the same time, those people who get into bureaucracy, they do not come as a hobby. They do not pursue this as a hobby or a business. They pursue it as a career. That means it's a permanent nature. There is present security of tenure in such services. You cannot just be removed on the on the basis of choices made by the people who are heading those systems as such. After the various features which Weber highlighted, Weber also highlighted that these bureaucracies largely once develops are unshatterable, are the escape proof and are escape proof, unshatterable and the hardest things to destroy once established. Therefore, in order to ensure that these expert people remains accountable there is a possibility when the experts comes, there is a possibility they may develop an autocratic tendencies. Therefore there should be an adequate control present on the bureaucracy. How to control that? Weber himself highlighted in his article Politics for Vocation that the best way to control bureaucracy is through the democratic leadership, because they have the capacities to ensure the control over bureaucrats, that the bureaucrats remains citizen friendly, citizen centric. According to Weber, the masses do not have capacities to control bureaucrats. That is, you and I would not be capable enough to control the bureaucracies. These leaders are capable enough, as these leaders would largely ensure that they remain accountable, as these people would derive their authority from this democratic leaderships. So things which we often say this, जो बोलते हैं कि पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप जो रहती है वो नहीं होनी चाहिए ब्यूरोक्रेसी के अंदर, तो वेबर का ये मानना नहीं था। वेबर बोलते हैं कि पॉलिटिकल लीडर जो डेमोक्रेटिकली इलेक्टेड है वो सबसे बढ़िया तरीका है ब्यूरोक्रेट्स को टेम करके रखने का, ब्यूरोक्रेट्स को कंट्रोल में रखने का। नहीं तो चांसेस है ये एक्सपर्ट लोग हो सकता है दे विल डेवलप देयर पावर सेंटर्स एज सच. But however, Weber himself was also aware of the negatives present of the bureaucracies, as he advocated that the bureaucracy developed because of the society became more and more rational, which led to the rise of rational legal authorities. But over a period of time when the bureaucracy develops, it starts excessively stressing on the various features such as order, hierarchy, and etc. And such features largely stifles the innovation or the creativity. So Weber said, and I'm quoting, that the increase in efficiency is the price which the modern society pays for the death of creativity. और ये creativity क्यों होता है? That the bureaucrats are tamed and trained certainly in order to accept the orders, not in order to take the calls on the basis of their capacities, intuitions, and conscience. Therefore, Weber knew that the bureaucracy can hamper the very rationality with which it developed itself. So एक बार डेवलप होने के बाद उसी rationality को शायद वो खाने लगती है, इसीलिए उन्होंने suggestion दिया. Coupled with this, there are also other thinkers who have also criticized the Weberian theory of bureaucracy. Those are R.K. Merton advocates it operates on letters of law. वो spirit पे नहीं चलती है, जो लिखा है उस procedures को follow करती है, और उस procedure के कारण कॉजियर जैसे लोग बोलते हैं कि रेड टेपिज्म आ जाता है. द फाइल हैज टू पास फ्रॉम ईच लेवल ऑफ द हायरार्कीज, ओनली देन इट कैन बी पास्ड. देयर इज नो पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ बाईपासिंग अ पर्टिकुलर hierarchy. Goldner बोलते हैं कि this leads to development of personality cult, as these people are powerful enough, they have the knowledge, they have the expertise. Over a period of time they themselves largely starts developing an autocratic tendencies, where more than rules their personalities becomes more powerful. We have already witnessed such bureaucrats in Indian society as well. Mosca advocated that the bureaucracy do not represent the interest of the citizens. Bureaucracies largely represents or are the agents of what we call as elites. कि वो elites के interest present करती है, उनको protect करती है. Therefore, many of the scholars highlighted negatives of bureaucracy. Weber himself was also very much prominent and active in recognizing that there are certain weaknesses present within the bureaucratic systems. But however, bureaucratic theory को support के अंदर लिखते हैं जॉर्ज रिट्जर अपनी थियरी मैकडोनलाइजेशन के अंदर, वेरी एडवोकेट्स दैट द मैकडोनलाइजेशन रेफर्स टू द प्रोसेस ऑफ स्प्रेड ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेटिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बियॉन्ड द पब्लिक स्फीयर. यहां पे सबसे बड़ी मिस्टेक करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स के जनरली एक कॉमन सेंस से मैकडोनलाइजेशन को मैकडॉनल्ड से इक्वेट कर देते हैं कि वो फूड का स्प्रेड होना मैकडोनलाइजेशन है. रॉन्ग. This was a study conducted on McDonald's, but it was never talking about the spread of Western food habits as such. The essence of this theory was that the bureaucracy is expanding beyond the public sphere, and each and every sphere is fast getting engulfed in the rationality ideologies manifested in the forms of bureaucracy. ये McDonald's को पढ़ते हैं और बताते हैं कि किस तरीके से McDonald's एक रिफ्लेक्शन है कि ब्यूरोक्रेसी अब सिर्फ पब्लिक में नहीं है, बाहर भी आ चुकी है. ये भी रिकॉग्नाइज करते हैं कि ब्यूरोक्रेटिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का एक्सपेंडेंट पॉजिटिव तो है. यू कैनॉट स्टॉप इट, बिकॉज जितनी रैशनैलिटी रहेगी आपको ब्यूरोक्रेसी चाहिएगी ही चाहिएगी. बट हाउएवर ही वाज आल्सो अवेयर दैट इट इज गोइंग टू हैव सर्टेन नेगेटिव रिपरकशंस एंड इंपैक्ट, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट जॉर्ज रिट्जर आल्सो सेड दैट इट लीड्स टू इरैशनैलिटी ऑफ रैशनैलिटी. अब तो क्वेश्चन ये आता है कि पॉजिटिव्स और नेगेटिव्स वेबर ने खुद भी दिए, बाकी लोगों ने भी दिए, और जिन्होंने उसका सपोर्ट किया उन्होंने भी नेगेटिविटी नहीं, इसके नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट्स रिकॉग्नाइज किए. तो क्या आज रेलेवेंट है ब्यूरोक्रेसीज? सी, नॉर्मली पीपल टुडे टॉक अबाउट दैट द पोस्ट इंडस्ट्रियल सोसाइटीज टुडे रिक्वायर्स नेटवर्क ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. वी डू एक्सेप्ट दैट फ्रॉम द थियरीज ऑफ रॉबर्ट पुटमैन एंड अदर्स. But however, one needs to understand that in contemporary time, If the work has to be done in a rational manner, in an efficient manner, in such circumstances, bureaucracies have its own disadvantages. But until and unless the alternatives of bureaucracies are developed, which can ensure rational operations, one would have to live with the bureaucracy. However, whatever the issues may be in that, because at the end, bureaucracy as of now is the only mechanism through which one can operate in a very rational and efficient and fluid manner. So bureaucracy is going to be required even in the post-industrial societies, or for that matter the postmodern society, if ever it occurs in the world. Then in such circumstances we would have to still live with the bureaucracy, because at present neither it has alternative, and as well as this, that till the time the social exclusions and inequalities exist, till the time the identities remain strong in society, one would have to always fall back on bureaucracy, as the lack of bureaucracies would create more challenges, as people would start taking decisions on the basis of their whims and whimsies. Like, they prefer a particular caste, they prefer a particular ethnicity, they prefer a particular goddamn religion or race as such. तो अगर उन सारी चीजों को अवॉइड करना है तो bureaucracy remains the most important aspects. Despite having shortcomings, we would have to live with it. At the best, what we can largely do is ensure a democratic control of bureaucracies, maintain their accountabilities by empowering the citizens as well in contemporary times. But however, one of the Weberian theory that the masses do not have capacities to ensure the accountability of bureaucracy does not stand true in contemporary times, as we often see that it is the masses which have largely made the bureaucracy accountable because of their increased awareness and because of their increased participations within the governance process. The RTI and the various other laws, a social audit is a very important reflection of such.